Good day, my name is Pavel Valenzuela. I am currently an English teacher at la Universidad Autónoma de Occidente. As I used to study here, I'm actually a graduate from this school. I studied at UADO during or from the years 2004 to 2009. Uh,
And how do you feel with these studies here in the university? Which was your experience?
I had a very positive experience. Actually, I didn't study at the campus Los Mochis. I started my studies in Culiacan, and then in my third year, or like I think yes, in my fourth year, I went as an interchange student to Topeka, Kansas, on behalf of the university.
And was it hard to get that sponsor to move to the States?
It was like a long time. It was a long time ago. It was like 15 years ago.
Okay.
Probably the situation has changed, but at the time, the university was very flexible in terms of funding, in terms of helping you to get the
Sponsorship and everything.
Yes, yeah, and they actually gave me, how much was it at the time? They gave me some amount of money, and then you put some part, but you put the other part, or you put down the other part. But it's easier when you have the help of the university. So I went there, and then I came back. It was like in 2008, and then I didn't study for a semester, and then I enrolled, or I ended my bachelor's degree at university. Well, at Campus Los Mochis.
And which is your major, your bachelor major?
My major is in communication science, and with the specialty of media, mass media, I think it was. And because, well, that's the one I took, obviously. Then after that, I went on and worked part time at an office as an office assistant, and then I taught English part time as well. Actually, I have been teaching English since 2007, or right up before going into the as an interchange student. I started teaching English, so I've been teaching English for like close to 12 years.
Yeah,
So,
there's a bunch, right? Isn't it?
well, it's yeah. I've been teaching English for quite a while now.
But talk to us about the trip that you took to the England.
Oh, all right, very good. So, after my bachelor's studies, I decided to pursue a postgrad degree or further studies. So I decided to take a master's degree, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to study my master's in the country, and I had already gone to USA, and I didn't like USA. So
Why? How come? What happened?
I think that the culture in the USA is very dominant, and I just didn't like the society there, and interactions, and the manner in which people thought, and the ideas that they have, and I didn't think they resonated with me. So I decided to try a new, I don't know how to say it, a new medium, a new environment.
But before this interview, you were telling me that you preferred to move to Europe, right?
Oh yeah. Well, as we were saying, I decided to study a master's degree, and I decided that it had to be in English, and I had like very limited options if you want to study at a good school in English, and the second best option was England, so, or the United Kingdom. So it was very randomly. I just went online, and obviously it's kind of expensive. It's the second most expensive country to go to. So I needed a scholarship. So I went to the Conocid page, and I just randomly selected a university because I like the syllabus that they have, and the major, and whatever the studies they have, the subjects they offer, and everything. And I went on and applied for it. So I followed all the procedures, and it was it was kind of tough because you have to gather a lot of documents and everything. And then I took the trip to England, or to the UK. Well, I think that the most important part from this experience is that even though that you think, or a lot of people think, that going to Europe is very difficult, or it is impossible for someone to achieve it, most of us can do it, especially if we put ourselves to it, and then if we really try it. everyone can do it.
But, talking about your experience to get a sponsorship from Conacyt, you can tell to a lot of students that they can do it too, right?
Yes, obviously, you can do it, and but I think that you need to be very careful, and you need to reach out to the 30s for you to select or to really ambition the things that you can accomplish. Because now that I have experience, and now that I look back to what the things that I did, I can tell or I can point out the mistakes that I make while applying to this scholarship. And even from the point of selecting the masters or the most adequate masters for me, that was a mistake. And well, it's not a mistake, but I could have chose something more accurately.
But you overcome all the details or problems that you faced in the past, right?
Yeah, you can you identify. So that's why that, like, for example, I was like, I didn't reach to anyone that actually knew or that actually had done this before. So I was very well, I was doing it all by myself, with my limited knowledge, because even if you research online or if you go to certain authorities, they, for example, Conacyt has like thousands of universities nationally and internationally. So it's very difficult for them to point out a, the specific characteristics of a certain university, and not only the university, because you are moving to that place and you will have to live there, and you will have to look for
An apartment,
an apartment or a room or whatever place to stay. You're obviously not going to live on the street.
and medical insurance and everything else.
Medical insurance and the cost of the visa, and even the different specifications of the sponsorships that you might get. If you can get extra funding, there's a lot of. Most of the time, we limit ourselves to Conacyt, but for example, people, and I think this is something that happens in Sinaloa a lot, because people that in other states, because before you go, how do I put it? When you get your scholarship approved, you have like a breakfast, like a breakfast party for you and all the other people that got their scholarships approved. So you go to this breakfast and you're chatting with people from Mexico City, from Monterrey, from Guadalajara, and all of these places, and they have a very different mindset than compared to us here in Sinaloa. They know that there are more options that are available for every single Mexican out there, but probably we don't know it here. I remember going to the person in Conacyt because I was living in Culiacan at the time, so Conacyt is right there. I don't think in those Mochis we don't even have a Conacyt office, so there's
But
not
we
a.
have it right there in Culiacan too.
But we don't. So we don't have. It's very difficult. Obviously, if you have a small doubt, you're not gonna run to the Conacyt office in Culiacan. But I was living there, and actually, it was like 3 blocks away from the place that I used to work.
Okay.
So it was very easy for me to just like, hey, I need to run to the office real quick. Can you give me a small break? And they will do it because it was a very flexible job. So they will let me go. And I would go there and I would ask the lady like certain questions about like the scholarship or certain questions about what can I do? How can I get extra funding or whatever? And she would not know. She would not know. She would have no clue about it.
Really?
And so what we would do, we would dial the Conacyt number and wait for the people to answer, and then she would ask the same questions on the phone to other people on others in Mexico City, I guess. I don't know. So I stopped going because she was not solving my doubts, basically. So, and moving forward, after like 2-3 months later, I went to Mexico City and I started speaking to people that also apply from other states. That is more. I think Sinaloa it's not even that common to take an international scholarship, because it's really funny. Well, there's a lot of details, but there is more fun. What we need the people here in Sinaloa, in my opinion, we need more communication. I don't know, to make people aware that there is the possibility to take a scholarship. And there is a possibility, there was, I don't know in the new government what's happening, but there was a possibility to take a scholarship.
But let me tell you something. Actually, la Universidad Autónoma de Occidente has a lot of agreements with a lot of institutions, nationally and internationally too, that give you the possibility to study in another country if you want to.
Yeah, but I didn't know. Like I reached out to people. Because I needed what did I need? I need some recommendations, so I went to my teachers in the university campus Culiacan, and they didn't tell me anything. And then I went to CONACYT, and they didn't tell me anything either. So I just applied to CONACYT, but there is a number of fundings that you can get. So my recommendation is, oh, I don't know what to say. Like, it has become a little clutter in my speech now. Okay, summarizing everything. It is very possible, and if you want to do it, don't feel or don't think that just because we come from a small city like Los Mochis, or because nobody else of your friends or in your family or people that you know have gone to anywhere other than Mexico or Latin America or USA, like you can literally get a scholarship and you can get all the money. Like you will pay very small amounts of money, and you will travel and have a very good experience. And academically, life experience, and everything, it will be very rewarding at the end. But we just got to do it. We just got to do it. And sometimes we have this mental wall that we cannot, I don't know, break, that prevents us from doing things, and we can do them. That's what I can say.
Okay, well, maybe we continue with this interview in another moment.
Sure.
I know you have a class to teach already, and if students have some questions, they can send us to the page of Facebook here, with the page of the unit Regional Los Mochis, and you have a last comment to tell to our students and all academics.
Oh, sure. Like, I'm teaching English here at the moment, so if you see me around and if you have any questions about class, because even though it may not seem like, but I have been teaching English for 12 years, so I kind of know what I do there. And also, if you have any other questions and you want to ask me, oh, how do you apply for a scholarship, or how was it? Was it difficult, or what do you do? What do I do, or whatever? Yeah. I can help you out.
What's your name? What's your name again?
As I say, my name is Pavel Valenzuela, and if you see me around, you can just approach me, like, and it will be fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. See you around, guys.
See you.